Hello mortals, I'm the Booktube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. And I cannot believe that it is my 2-year anniversary. Yes, I have been on Booktube for 2 years. And to show you how much of a professional I am, this is the second time I'm shooting this video. I shot it 2 weeks ago, but it was so blurry that it was too embarrassing even to put up. So, yeah. So you may be wondering, am I where I want to be after 2 years in Booktube? And the answer is no, not really. I was really hoping to be monetized by this time, but that is a big hill to climb, bigger than I thought. Now, what I really appreciated was Dominic Noble's video where he was going over how to succeed in Booktube, and he said,
"You can do all of these things right, and it still might not happen for you." Yeah, a hell of a depressing thing to end on, but I've seen it happen so often I cannot in good conscience neglect to mention it. For a multitude of reasons, doing everything right on YouTube is not a guarantee of even partial success.
You could do everything right. You could have passion for your subject, you could do all the editing that's required, you could do everything perfectly right and still not succeed in Booktube because of the algorithm and just how things are. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up to help me out with this algorithm, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Yeah. So anyway, what I thought I would do for this anniversary was ask some questions on Twitter and my YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and go to Twitter first and see some questions. First question is from Nicholas Perez. He says, "What have you felt has changed since you first started?" And I think I mentioned this on my 1-year anniversary, but it's just how the people have changed. There was this certain cadre of people that I sort of started at the same time with. We were growing around the same rate. We were tagging each other, and it was like a little community, but I think I'm the only one left that's still doing Booktube, so I'm still trying to find a new community. The other thing that's changed as far as content goes is I'm seeing a lot more of those reading vlogs, reading sprints, and videos have been getting a lot longer. And I don't know if I've kept up with the times or not. My only lives are my live stream makeup videos, and so I'm probably not going to do those types of things anyway because I get into drag for my videos and it takes like 3 hours to get fully into drag. So yeah, I don't think I'll be having that type of content, but it's always interesting to see how Booktube evolves. What's popular 1 year may not be so popular the next. Connor Stompanato asks, "Do you have any more ambitious skits planned for the future?" I think he's talking about, and I'll link up here, he's talking about my romance trope skit, and I do want to do a fantasy trope skit. But those, you really have to script those out, and those are a lot of work to do, and you have to figure out the costumes and the makeup and all that. But one day, I don't know when, but one day I'm going to definitely do a fantasy skit trope video. William James, also known as the Bald Book Geek, asks, "What inspired you to start YouTube?" Well, I had run across Booktube quite by chance because I wasn't aware of it for, like, I guess most people, until you just sort of stumble upon a video. And so I was fascinated with videos about books and talking about books and being passionate about books like I am. So I felt that this was kind of my tribe, these sort of book people. So I was also interested in doing YouTube. I had a YouTube channel before on vaping, which was actually kind of successful. A couple of those videos had over 100,000 views. So I thought,
how difficult could it be doing a Booktube channel?
It is very difficult to get traction on Booktube unless you're very lucky or very talented or very personable or some combination thereof. And I have to say, I also wanted to get into drag. Now, before I only did drag like on Halloween or special occasions, and I'm a huge fan of Drag Race, and I'm a huge fan of drag even way before Drag Race. So this was my chance to be a drag queen and to do a YouTube channel and to talk about books. Everything seemed to be in one nice package. Carbon Bonded Books asks, what is your favorite thing about Booktube? Well, obviously it is the community. I had mentioned before that I do live stream videos, get ready with me's, and I didn't think I would do them. I just tried it out once, but then some people started coming on, and I felt that there's this little community of people that at least go on my live stream and often comment on my videos. So I definitely want to give a shout out to my regulars. Lynette Says That, Cappuccino Crafts are there on almost every video, and I am so grateful for it. Fit to Be Read has been joining, Blue Black, Lori Romer, Marshma, I've seen Lemonade Stand recently, Ashley from Bookish Realm visited once, and I just want to say how grateful I am and to thank everyone who comes to those live streams, and I apologize if I missed anyone, but it is so much fun to have that small, close community to talk about books and other things, moving and current events and life and whatever. Scientist Reading World asks, how did you become a goddess? Well, I've been a goddess for a long time. Actually, I am the creator of the text game Listernia, which is an online text game. It's a commercial game. And my role was the creatrix of the universe. I wrote all the lore and did some coding. And yeah, so for 15 years, I was the goddess Astara in the world of Listernia. So it seemed natural to transition to a goddess of Booktube. We'll see how that went. Spilled Ink asks, what kind of makeup do you use? And are there books you swear never to talk about or avoid? Well, the makeup I do use, and I've had this makeup for a couple years since I started Booktube, but the makeup mogul has been canceled, I guess, maybe. It's Redacted Star. So I won't go over that, but the one makeup brand I do want to promote to booktubers is Storybook Cosmetics. They have makeup palettes in book form. This is Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. They have really high quality eyeshadows in them, and they're in book form. Believe there's a Jane Austen, there's a Sherlock Holmes. They have brushes, they have all sorts of things. Check them out, Storybook Cosmetics. And are there books you swear never to talk about or avoid? I don't think so. I can't think of any books. I don't usually, at least for my channel, review indie books, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I haven't had a great amount of luck reading indie books, and I feel really guilty about giving any sort of negative reviews to a indie book publisher. Maybe I should get over that. Someone else, another booktuber, mentioned the same thing and wondered if he should have different standards on reviewing indie books. And I don't know if that's an answer either. But I've never sworn not to avoid any types of books, even indie books. It's just for indie books, I'm careful about talking about them. I also asked for questions on my YouTube community tab, so let's check those out. Cappuccino Crafts asks, congratulations on 2 years. Thank you. What is the best book you have read from Shelve It or Shove It picks? Is there anything about being a bookish content creator that you didn't expect? For the best book, the first thing that comes to mind is Casey Callender's Queen of the Conquered. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. It's an anti-hero book. I did not like the sequel, but you can read Queen of the Conquered as a standalone perfectly fine, and I was quite impressed by the writing and highly recommend it. Now, is there anything about being a bookish content creator that you didn't expect? Well, one thing I didn't expect was to get back into writing. Talking about books and analyzing books made me want to go back to my own writing. I've never been published before. I wrote a novel in my 20s, and I recently finished a middle grade novel, which I'll send out. I queried to like 9 agents, and I've since decided it's probably not good enough for publication. And I'm working on another middle grade novel, which I think is going to be very commercial. So hopefully I'll finish that. But I just didn't expect to get back into writing in such a big fashion as I have been. And it certainly helps to have found AuthorTube, which is another subsection of Booktube or YouTube, where they just are authors talking about writing and the writing process. Now I have a whole bunch of questions from Moonbook, one of my favorite commenters. She also comes to my live stream once in a while. Her time zones make it hard for her. So I'm just going to go over a couple of her questions. Okay, let me just paraphrase. What Booktube book did you read that you were shocked that you loved so much? And I'm going to, I guess House on the Cerulean Sea. I just recently read that, and everyone and their mother has recommended it, and it took me a while to get around to reading it, and I did love it a lot. So thank you, Moonbook, and everyone else who recommend House on the Cerulean Sea. What is your favorite video to do? I guess Shelve It or Shove It, because I've done so many Shelve It or Shove It's that they're very comfortable for me, and they're still really fun to do. And Moonbook asks, who is your favorite Star Trek character? And who is your least favorite character in Star Trek? Well, of course, it is Spock. Who doesn't love Spock in Star Trek? My least favorite Star Trek character is probably going to be Wesley Crusher from The Next Generation. And here's the thing, because I started watching that with a bunch of fellow Star Trek fans, and we felt that it was just too cutesy of a character. Until he got his uniform. Once Wesley Crusher was in his Star Trek uniform, I felt a lot better about him and I liked him more. But then in the beginning we said, we called him Rainbow Bright because he had this little stupid rainbow jumpsuit. And it just didn't make any sense that they were letting this kid on the bridge. So... Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up for now. Once again, thank you everyone who has subscribed to my channel, who visits my live streams, who watches my video, who comments, who gives it a thumbs up. It has been a huge pleasure, and I have no plans to go anywhere. I am going through a moving process, so my videos may taper off for a little bit. But I promise you that I still think Booktube is a fun hobby that I plan on continuing. And let's hope for another wonderful year ahead of us. It has to be better than 2020. Until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.